The results this season left me stunned. Plants that usually struggled to push through heavy soil suddenly became vigorous and green, while fruits filled out to sizes I'd only read about in gardening journals. The difference came from one thing: fermented fertilizer. This isn't just another gardening fad, it's an old science-backed method that unlocks nutrients, activates soil biology, and supercharges crops. Stick with me through the next few minutes, because once you see how simple this method is and why it works, you'll have the tools to replicate the same unbelievable harvests in your own garden. Every gardener knows the basics. Compost piles turn organic matter into humus over time, and raw scraps can be buried directly in soil to feed microbes. But fermentation changes the game. When materials like kitchen waste, weeds, or manure are fermented, natural bacteria pre-digest them. This process releases nutrients into a form plants and soil life can absorb almost instantly. Unlike composting, which can take months, fermentation usually happens within 1 to 3 weeks, meaning you create a concentrated liquid or slurry that works as both a fertilizer and a microbial inoculant. For gardeners working with poor or compacted soil, fermentation adds another layer of advantage. It introduces lactic acid bacteria, yeasts, and other microorganisms that can suppress harmful pathogens while increasing the diversity of life in the soil. Instead of waiting for compost to break down fully, your plants benefit almost immediately from nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, all unlocked by fermentation. The beauty of fermented fertilizer, is that it doesn't require expensive inputs. The most common recipe actually uses 3 main components: fresh plant material or kitchen waste, a sugar source, and water. The sugar, often in the form of molasses, brown sugar, or jaggery, feeds the microbes that drive fermentation. Plant material provides the nutrients, while water, acts as the medium in which the transformation happens. For example, if you have a bucket of leafy weeds, you can chop them up and mix them with about 1 part brown sugar to 3 parts chopped material by weight. Place this mixture into a container, press it down to remove air pockets, and cover it loosely so gases can escape while flies and pests stay out. Within a few days, you'll notice a tangy smell, bubbles, and liquid forming at the bottom. That liquid is the concentrated fertilizer you're after. To make the process practical, let's go through it in clear steps. Start with a 5-gallon bucket, which is a manageable size for most home gardeners. Collect about 3 to 4 kilograms of green waste. This can include grass clippings, vegetable scraps, or even banana peels. Chop them finely to speed up fermentation. Add 1 kilogram of brown sugar or molasses and mix thoroughly. Press this mixture into the bucket until it reaches about 2/3 full, then cover it with a breathable lid, such as cloth tied with string. Keep the bucket in a shaded place, where temperatures stay moderate. Stir once every 2 to 3 days to help microbes distribute evenly. Within a week, you'll notice liquid pooling at the bottom. By the 2nd or 3rd week, the mixture will have a sour, sweet smell, signaling it's ready. Strain out the liquid and store it in bottles, leaving some space at the top for gas release. This concentrated solution is your fermented fertilizer. The key to success lies in dilution. Fermented fertilizers are too strong to use directly on plants. A general rule is to dilute 1 part fermented fertilizer with 10 to 20 parts water before applying. For leafy vegetables like lettuce, spinach, or kale, use the weaker dilution of 1 to 20 and apply once a week as a foliar spray or soil drench. For heavy feeders like tomatoes, peppers, or corn, a stronger dilution of 1 to 10 applied around the root zone every 2 weeks produces noticeable results. For fruit trees, dilute 1 to 15 and pour around the drip line every month. The microbes not only deliver nutrients but also help decompose organic matter already in your soil, creating a longer-lasting fertility boost. By timing applications with plant growth stages, more frequent doses during flowering and fruiting. You align the fertilizer's release with crop demands. After about 2 months of steady use, plants begin to show a noticeably deeper green thanks to increased chlorophyll production. Crops that had previously stalled out because of nutrient lockup in the soil, well, they start to push out vigorous new growth. Root crops like carrots and beets actually bulk up faster since fermentation increases the availability of phosphorus and potassium. And tomatoes and cucumbers treated with fermented fertilizer, they often produce earlier flowers and a more uniform fruit set, which is really quite impressive. Even more valuable is the long-term effect on soil. Unlike chemical fertilizers, which can deplete microbial diversity, fermented fertilizers enrich it. That means, each season your soil becomes more alive and resilient. Gardeners who have applied these methods for years report reduced pest pressure and less need for synthetic inputs. In survival terms, this method provides a renewable, low-cost way to feed plants without relying on external supply chains. Understanding fermentation as a natural process also equips you with practical skills outside the vegetable bed. In situations where you need to recycle waste quickly, fermenting kitchen scraps prevents odors and pests compared to leaving them raw. For homesteaders or preppers, this method guarantees a renewable fertilizer, even if store-bought options disappear. And for those working small spaces, fermented fertilizer allows you to turn minimal scraps into a high-value liquid feed without requiring a compost pile. The fermented fertilizer method has shown me, and honestly countless gardeners before me, that sometimes the old, low-cost techniques are the most powerful. By turning waste into concentrated nourishment through natural microbes, you unlock a system that works faster than compost and builds stronger soil with every application. Start with just 1 bucket this season, follow the ratios, and observe the difference in your garden's response. If this guide has given you new tools for your gardening journey, share it with a fellow grower who might benefit, and, of course, subscribe to Soil Doctor for more practical, time-tested methods that keep your soil alive and productive year after year.